Oh, hello, 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 hello. This video is a little later than what I had anticipated, but nonetheless, I am here with it and I'm ready to talk about it. All right, all right. Y'all know I like to keep me a nice piece of juice and a hot sausage. Again, I wanted to shout out to Jungle Life City for this nice t-shirt. It says eyes open. I love the design. So just want to shout them out. I'm going to put a link to them in this video as well. Like I said, remember to, what the folks say, click the like, subscribe button and everything. Share, 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 share. Let's get that viewership up. So this particular topic here is a carry on from a Facebook Live that I did where I had a red checkered scarf on. If I can find the picture, I'll post it up here. If not, I don't know much about this YouTube thing. And one of my friends who happens to be white said I look like Aunt Jemima with a mustache. Me personally, thought it was hilarious. Another friend of mine commented that it is not okay, it is inappropriate and it is not okay. So then my friend Kendra, my other friends are black, white, said, why? Because I'm white, and it got into this whole little thing, didn't really go too deep. So what I did is I took it offline, and I said, hey, you know what? It's a great topic. Why don't we chat about it? Kendra was all for it, but she's in the middle of a move, so we're going to do a little follow-up. So this will be a two-part video, one with me just talking about it, and one with me and her on a Facebook Live that I'm going to post to YouTube, giving her perspective. The other one declined and said it's not her job to educate her. So then I did another live, and I wanted to get everyone's take, and so I decided to call it, Are Black People Too Sensitive and Need to Get Over It? Where's my camera looking this way? Where's my camera? Okay. Or, I just don't like that angle. Okay, okay, that's fine. Or is it that white people, I don't see why I can't seem like I can get in this camera. Okay. Or is it that white people don't get it or don't care? So we're going to take it from that point right there. Okay, if I look right here, that's what I need to be doing. Like I told you guys, I'm just figuring this thing out. I ain't doing no edits. What you see is what you get, Like it, love it, but share it and subscribe. So I asked people to send me some questions, and one of my friends said that she saw it, and she said this. I do think some black people are too sensitive, or they just want to hope or want to hop on the bandwagon. Like they may be feeling like that if they don't agree with what they certain with a certain thing of our culture, then they're not 100% black. Then she referenced that H&M thing where the little boy had a shirt on that said the coolest monkey in the jungle. And her thing was, if his parents were fine with it, then why y'all tripping? And on that particular note, I personally agree, because what you find is that people have too much time on their hand. Everything is not going to be racist. So then when it goes to back, are we too sensitive or white people don't get it? I personally think it's a combo. What I tend to find that annoys me or frustrates me is that everything can't offend you in 2020. And the reason I say that is that if you spend your whole time about what's messing with black people and what's offending black people, what are you doing with the rest of your time? What are you doing? What are you doing, period? Because everybody ain't out to get you. And I'm not saying all black people think like this. I'm just saying those that I've encountered. Everybody's not out to get you. And if you're offended, it is your responsibility. You don't get to walk around and be offended and not tell the person why. So I'm going to address the second part, which my other friend said, is that should she, it's not her job to educate. Actually, it is. It is your job to bring correction to offense. It is very easy for SSA people to get together and talk about, oh my God, they need to know this, they need to know that ain't right, this ain't right, da 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 da, all this stuff. But when it comes time to have that one-on-one, we tend to shy away from it. We tend to say, well, they should know. If they should know, who's going to tell them? How would I know if something offends another race unless that person tells me one, they're offended, and then break down to me why it's offensive? Now, because you just don't like it, don't make it offensive. That makes you just don't like it. So let's get that all the way together straight. So that was one of the comments that I got. Another comment that I got about it was, let me see, what did my friend Kendra said was, um, um, what did she say? This is what she said, that people want to label people as racist and can't back it up with any validity other than their own insecurities within themselves. She said one glance at her profile, she obviously consumed in racial related shit all the time. If you ask me, someone who makes everything a racial allegation is the one that's the racist, because they're the ones noticing race in situations that have nothing to do with anyone's race. So obviously they're the ones promoting hostility between the races. And I get where she's coming from, but also I understand the other side. Because as a people, when you have been, and I'm gonna say this, not when I say you, I don't mean me. I mean as a people globally, I'm just gonna speak as a whole, have been through years of oppression, and there's still segregation and there's still racism. And when people always say they don't see color and blah blah blah, first of all, it's like we all see color. I see you, I know you white. I see you, I know you black. I see, I know you Asian. That, so when folks try to do that spin, that tends to irritate me. But what I also get is that folks will try to say stuff under the umbrella of I didn't know, but oh my God, it's 2020. How can racism exist? Oh, I can't believe blah 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 blah. That I don't understand, because you ain't blind. Clearly, you know it's racism. You see it's racism. You see it at your job. You see it in the stores. You see it with the way black and brown people are treated by police. You see all of that stuff. So don't make like that you don't see the racism. Now you personally may not be racist, but don't make like you don't see the racism. Now on the flip side of that, I think that sometimes as black people, and I'm not gonna say just black people, I think all races do, but I focus on black people because I'm black. Sometimes we tend to spend too much time consumed in that. You know, we spend a lot of time in how they're treating me. We spend a lot of time in, oh my God, she has braids. She's still in our culture. That's not right. We spend a lot of time in, oh my God, he's white. He has dreads. That's not right. We spend an abnormal amount of time, to me, in victimization mode. Every time someone gets pulled over and they're black, it's like, oh my God, they put them over because they're black, whatever. And I'm not saying some instances is not true, or they shot them, or whatever you want to say. I'm not minimizing those things, but what I am saying is that you can't always take that stance that everything's because you're black. Because you know what? Probably 40% of it because you were ignorant in what you did. And I said it because I go back and look at videos and I say, if I were the police officer, would my actions have been that way? I don't know, because I'm not a police officer. My life isn't in danger and I'm not dodging stuff all day, every day. But then I said, had I been the victim, was my response appropriate? And a lot of times, I'm like, why didn't you just follow the instruction? And the reason I say that is, I remember growing up, my mother always said, respect the authorities. If the police say something, you just do what they say do, because the goal is to get home. I remember in church, one of my pastors said, the goal is to get home. The goal, that's not, Steve Harvey said, the goal is to get away with your life. The goal, because you see the circumstances, you watch the news, you see what's happening. So that whole you don't get it thing, I don't get. The goal is to get home. Once you get away, you get home, then you do your legal stuff and you try to handle it that way. But a lot of times we want to take this stance to the Constitution. The Constitution ain't even written about you. Go read the Constitution. They don't even really consider you a human being. But I digress. Now back to what I was talking about. Are black people too sensitive? Hell yes, yes, yes. It irritates me. Everything is not a goddamn movement. It's not. Everything isn't a kumbaya moment. Everything isn't about what we've suffered as a people, because I know some of you ain't really suffered nothing. You're educated, you got good jobs, you make good money. So don't make like you all held back in the press, because you and I both know that's some bullshit. I don't feel like that. Do we need to get over it? Um, I think we need to get past it. Change your expectations. I always say to people, know your place and play your position. That is the word I live by. If you know someone is racist, that's the position you play from, because you have the ammunition. You understand what I'm saying? You're ignorant and don't know. I know better, and then I know because of how you're talking that you're ignorant and you don't know. So that puts me in a better position in dealing with you than you are in dealing with me. You understand what I'm saying? That means that I get to maneuver you around any kind of way I want to, because the only thing you're focused on is that I'm black. So it's not a get over thing, it's a get beyond it thing. Learn to use it to your advantage. Stop playing the victim role, stop having to come by y'all moments, stop doing all that foolishness, and start playing this game. I used to always tell folks, are you playing checkers or are you playing chess? I play chess 100% of the time. I'm like, check, mate, boop, in your face. I ain't got time to be moving with you here, there, everywhere. We ain't playing, we ain't playing hangman and all that stuff. I'm playing chess. It's a logical game. I know the rules. The rule is you have a perception that you think is right. The fact is, I know you're incorrect. And because you have this one perception, you're only moving in this one direction. So that means I can move all around you all the time. I should have really got that ring light, because I can't keep my light right. So I can move around you all the time and get what I want to get, because the only thing you are focusing on is the only thing that you're focusing on. Let me turn this way. That's great. The only thing that you're focusing on is that I'm black, male, whatever you want to think about me, stupid, dumb, gay, straight, whatever you want to think is your focus. And because I know that's your focus, I then get to decide how the game is played. So that's my opinion on that. Do I think black people are too sensitive? Yes. Do I think they need to get over it? No, I think they need to get beyond it and play the game differently. Like one of my coworkers said the other day, she said, we ain't got a seat at the table. We know we don't have a seat at the table. And I get what she said. You know you're not going to be included. You know you're not going to be accepted, but so much. But in knowing this, there's a lot of power in how you play it. It's a lot of power in how you maneuver it. It's a lot of power, because they always talk about the angry black person. People are prepared for when you go into the establishment for you to go off, for you to crunk it up, and for you to act a fool, because they've decided that that's what we do as a people. So when you don't do that, when you come off intelligent, when you're articulate, when you know how to do the communication thing, they're a little taken aback. And now that they've stumbled, that's when you want to them with that intellectual conversation. Once you hit them with that two pieces of that conversation, then you are the one that's winning the game. And you ain't even got to be at the table. Ain't nothing at the table anyway with some nasty macaroni and cheese and some potato salad that they didn't stuck some raisins in. That was a little wrong, but I said it and I ain't gonna take it back. So now, is it that white people don't get it and don't care? It's a combination. There are several people that I know that are white. I have great white friends. I can call them white because they're my friends. So I'm gonna read another comment that somebody had sent to me. Let me see. What did she say? She says, well, my BFF here is black and Asian, and she's a white young lady. We laugh and joke all the time. If you don't have close friends of another race, I think it is easy to get caught up in negative thoughts. She says, I think somehow we need to start the conversation that not everyone is racist and we can joke around and not mean anything by it. She said, but unfortunately, there are a ton of racist folks out there. Oh, but she didn't say folks, she used a different F word. And then she says, of course, every race has racist people. And she says, you can only control how we, she says, well, you can only control how you react. And I agree with her with that because what I think it is that because we do this closed minded knit thing, I do think that there are white people who don't get it because they have relationships with black folks and they have that kind of bond where most things ain't racial and most things that they may say to each other may make to someone on the outside looking in may say, I would have never said it, or why would he or she put up with that? Um, and that's one of those things that you have to pay attention to. Hold on, I got that. Oh, sorry about that. Well, apparently my battery thing popped on, so I'm going to be wrapping it up anyway. And I think she's right. Is that a lot of times I said it's not that I don't. I think that you have both. I think some don't get it. Some don't get why some things are sensitive, why some things bother folks, why some things offend folks. And I think on the flip side, there's a lot who just don't care. You have old school folks who think that uh, it's all about being white, and that's just the method they take, and that's what they deal with. So to sum it up, because I said this is going to be a two-part one, um, I think it's both. I think black folks are too sensitive. I think they need to get beyond it. I think white folks don't get it, and I think sometimes they just don't care. But the only way that you resolve these type of things is that if someone's willing to have the conversation. If you take the mindset that it ain't my problem, I ain't going to educate, or it ain't my problem, I ain't going to say anything, you do a disservice to your own cause or your own beliefs because you get to just be angry. You get to just be mad. When you have the conversation, there's an opportunity to educate. And I think as a people, black or white, we should be educating each other. Help me understand how you think and why you think. I'll help you understand how I think and why I think a particular way. And then we can come to a great meeting of the minds. So I'm looking forward to doing this second part with Kendra because it's going to be a candid conversation. I told her, do not send me what you're going to be talking about. I want to be just as surprised as you guys are when you hear, and it will be a raw, candid conversation because I've known Kendra for 10 years. We can have the conversation. There's no holds bar, there's no anger, there's no animosity. And when it's all over, it's all good. So thank you so much. Remember to like, wherever the like button shows up down there, share and subscribe. Tell your friends, make your comments. I do read the comments. Trust me, my YouTube game ain't tight, but it's going to get there. But like I said, I do want your input. So thank you so much. And another shout out to Jungle Life City for another amazing t-shirt. Eyes open. Stay woke, people. And it ain't a black thing. It's a people thing. Okay, stay woke. All right. Thank you so much. You have a great day and bye-bye. And remember, it's Reasons with Essence Styles with the Z because they let me.